And we have completed Unit 1, so we're about to move on to Unit 2. But what I'm having y'all do is highlight the TEKS. These are all the skills the state says I have to teach y'all. So we're going to highlight the skills that we did so far. So they come from our Unit 1 divider. A5A, A5B, 10A, and 12E. So let's look on here for A5A, and it is on category 3. So mine is on page 3. So look at your page 3. On the very far left, the column says what category it is. So I'm in category 3, and it's A5A. And we also did A5B, so it's in the supporting standard side. And then, so these are the two in reporting category 3. And then up in reporting category 1, we did 12E, which is category 1. It's about solving literal equations, so we did that. And then we did 10A, which is the one on top. Okay, so we have these two and then these other two. So we did 4 total in Unit 1. You're also going to go to the very back. We have this test data chart. And this tells you how I want you to put it in, like highlight. But honestly, I don't care about this. What I'm going to do, it's at the very back of your journal. Unit 1 test is the first one. You're going to shade in your test score. So if you haven't finished it, then you won't have that ready yet. But if you have, then maybe you remember it. If you don't, I can tell you what it is. So then we are going to go to page 17. So page 16 was our last notes for Unit 1. We have this new unit divider that you should have at least the first 2 vocabulary words done. Fold it down the middle. And if you're done with your vocabulary, you can glue the whole thing. If you're not done with your vocabulary yet, I wouldn't glue the back side just because it makes it hard to glue whenever, or hard to write if it's glued in. But you're going to put it in your journal where it's sticking out. So go ahead and do that right now. So you like right there. So relations and functions is what we are going to start this unit with. So this will be a review before we get into some of the new stuff. So this is about relations and functions. A relation is a set of ordered pairs. And then a function is a relation in which x is paired with exactly one y. So we've got to remember what an ordered pair is. So an ordered pair is an x, y, where x is your first number, y is your second number. Sets of ordered pairs are always written inside curly brackets. So we have these little curly brackets. They're kind of hard to draw. But each ordered pair is separated by the next with a comma. So this is a set of ordered pairs. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ordered pairs together. An input-output table, also a T-chart. So the x values go on the left, the y values go on the right. Input is our x value. Output is y. So we put a number in for x, and we come out with the output, which is y. We can have a vertical table. So x, y. X is always on the left side. Y is on the right. So go ahead and write that down. And then if you have a horizontal table that looks like this, x is on top, y is on bottom. Or this horizontal table, x, y. So when we're determining if it's a function or not, we always just look at the x values to make sure they don't repeat. The coordinate plane is our graph. So we have quadrants. Y'all learned these in previous years. But we have quadrant 1 is the top right. That's our positive values. Top left is quadrant 2. It's negative, positive. Quadrant 3 is our bottom left. That's our negative values. And then quadrant 4, which is an IV, so these are written as Roman numerals. Quadrant 4 is our bottom right. It's a positive, negative. Yeah. So in order to graph, we got to know the X and the Y. The origin's right in the middle. X represents going left and right from the origin. And Y represents going up and down from wherever we are on the x-axis. So the x-axis is our horizontal line, and our y-axis is our vertical line, and they're labeled here. So we are going to see what these points are, and then we're going to graph the other points right here. So let's call this point A, so put a little A out beside it. So we need to find the coordinates of A. So you always start at the origin, and to get to A, I'm going to go left and right first. So I'm going to go right, 1, 2, 3, and then up, 1, 2. So the coordinate for A is 3, 2, and it's positive. It's in quadrant 1. And then B is this other point that we have right here. So we need to find the coordinates of that. So we start at the origin and we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 1. So it's going to be 5, negative 1. Okay. So now what I want you to do is go ahead and plot the rest of these points on here. So negative 4, 3, 2, 0, negative 3, negative 1, and 2, 5. So do that on your own right now. All right, I'm going to go ahead and plot them. So negative 4, 3. So I'm going to go left 4, up 3. So check your point with mine. And then 2, 0, I'm going to go right 2 and stay where I'm at, 0. So over 2, 0. That's on the x-axis. Negative 3, negative 1. I'm going to go left 3 and down 1. And then 2, 5, right 2, up 5. So we should have all 6 points on there now. Okay, the mapping is the other way that a relation can be represented. The left side is X, it's your input. So go ahead and put X over here. The right side is your output, which would be Y. And the arrows represent which one goes with which. So which X goes with which Y. So we're going to write them. So 3 goes with 2. 5 goes with negative 1. Negative 4 goes with 3. You're following the arrows. 2 goes with 0. But 2 also, see the other arrow, goes to 5. So include that. And negative 3 goes with negative 1 because it stops there. It doesn't continue past negative 1. A lot of people want to say it's 2, but it's negative 1 because it stops right there. So negative 3, negative 1. And these points are actually the exact same points that we had up here. So this is the different representations for a relationship, some kind of relationship XY. All right, so we've talked about relations. Now we're going to talk about functions. So this is something y'all did last year, function or not. You have to determine whether it is a function or if it's not a function. So a function is a relation of xy where the x values do not repeat. So we gotta know whether it's a function or not, because then we're going to go into linear functions, quadratic functions, exponential functions. So you first got to know, is it a function or not? And then you can figure out what kind. So there are two characteristics, two ways of determining whether it's a function or not. One of them is x values don't repeat. So what we could do, if we know x values don't repeat, we can look at an ordered pair, x, y, and the only thing we care about is if x repeats. So look for repeats with x. If x doesn't repeat, then it's a function. If x repeats, it's not a function. Okay, the other way of checking, usually with a graph, you do that vertical line test or the pencil test. Do you remember that? Okay. So passes the, I'm going to put pencil / vertical line test. If it passes the vertical line test, meaning you're going to draw vertical lines on the function and make sure that it only crosses one time. If it crosses more than once, it's not a function. So I have some examples we're going to look at. So I have these little pieces of paper. We're going to just redraw them. Y'all can write on these, and then we can trash them. So look at these examples and decide which one is and which one isn't a function. So I think the easiest one is to look at the graphs. So look at the graphs, decide which one is a function, which one is not, and then we can redraw it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Here's my little graphs, x and y. So we have these two. Which one? Top one? So look at it. If you do like that. Yep. So draw the little sideways U under non-example. It's not an example of a function because it passes twice. But the other graph, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, it's just a line. Just draw a line on there. It passes the vertical line test. Okay. So look at the ordered pairs. So we're looking for repeats. So the only thing we care about is x. So what I want y'all to do is go and underline all of the x values real quick. Go ahead and do that. Look at it, underline them, underline your X's. And then if it doesn't repeat, it is a function. So we have 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. It's a function. So go ahead and write it here. Do those curly braces. They're kind of hard to do. It's like 2 S's. So we have 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 4, 10, 5, 15. So it is an example. Now look at the mapping. Look at it. Don't say anything out loud. I just want you to look at it. And if there's a repeat, circle it. The mapping. So the one with the ovals. Don't say it out loud. Circle it if it repeats anywhere. All right, so now y'all can tell me, does it repeat?
Yes.
Where?
The 1.
Right. We have 2 arrows coming off of 1. So this is a non-example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Yep. Can't go 2 places at once. And then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But 2 people can go to the same place. Yeah, that makes sense. So I circled 1 because that's where it repeats. Okay, and then, so we've done this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so now we're on the 2 tables. So I want you to look at the 2 tables, decide which one is a function. Don't say it out loud. And draw it on the function side, on the example side if it's a function. All right, so I did the 1, 2, 3. X's didn't repeat. So this is an example. So I put on the example side. The other one, let's see. Is there a repeat on the other one?
Yes.
What number?
1.
Oh, yeah, 1 repeats. Does anything else repeat?
4.
And 4 repeats. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and write it. And then circle the ones that repeat. Okay, so we have examples and non-examples. So now on the bottom part of this page, you're going to decide whether they're a function or not a function. So you can put yes or no, or you can put function and not a function. You can put NF for not a function and F for function. Identify which ones are functions and which ones are not. You're doing this on your own right now. So on here, you would double check with your vertical line test anytime there's a graph. So you could draw vertical lines, and if it crossed 2 points at one time, then it'd be not a function. So this is a function. But this one, see this location, it passes through 2 points, even though all these other ones are okay. Just because it has one that has 2 points down a vertical line, it's not a function. This one, it's a sideways U. It passes through twice on one vertical line, so it's not. On this graph, this oval, it passes through 2 at one vertical line, so it's not a function. And then ordered pairs, the only thing you have to check on ordered pairs is your x's. So what I like to do is just underline the x's. So this one doesn't have a repeat, so it's a function. But the next one, what repeats? Yeah, the 4s. So it's not a function. And if you want to write not a function or no, that's fine also. Okay, what about the next one?
5.
Yeah, 5s repeat. What about the next one? Yep, it's a function. And then the next one?
2.
No.
Yeah, nah. Okay, and then our last thing is the mapping. So if one of the inputs, x, goes to 2 locations, then it's not a function. So on this one, see how 1 has 1 arrow, 2 has one arrow, 3 has 1 arrow, 4 has 1 arrow. So it is a function. But the next one, what repeats?
13.
Yeah, 13 is going to 10 and to 7, so it's not a function. So this is actually on y'all's EOC exam. There's like 1 or 2 questions like this. So hopefully these are ones that you can get right just by knowing x's don't repeat and it has to pass that vertical line test. All right, so tomorrow we're going to do a quizzes about this just to make sure you understand. So no homework tonight.
Let's go.